Okay, so I went into the Apple Store and I looked at the iPad Mini. I like it. I mean, tell you the truth, I'm gonna be honest. I liked it. What I didn't like about it is the fact that you are stuck in that Apple ecosystem within that. But if you're with the Windows Phone, you're gonna be stuck in the Microsoft ecosystem as well. So it's pretty much the same thing, right? But I actually did like the iPad Mini the same way. If you saw my Microsoft Surface review, I went to the Apple Store and talked about the iPod Touch, the new one, and I actually did like the iPod Touch. Sweet. The Surface seems more sturdy than a lot more sturdier than the iPad does. In fact, it feels like if I drop the iPad, it will break. Seriously, I would not want to drop an iPod or iPad. I mean, that's why a good sturdy case for the iPad is definitely a good idea. Okay, I mean, I don't think you can do without a good case. But the iPad Mini, I really did like it. It's small, it's not too big, and it's perfect. It's like the Nexus 7. It's a perfect size. I can just take it with me. The only thing I didn't like, and I was kind of surprised, they made the iPhone 16 by 9 ratio, but they didn't do that with iPad. Not really too happy about how they did not do that with the iPad at all by making it widescreen. Not sure why Apple did not do that. Uh, I'm going to go ahead and walk on home from here. It's going to be a nice long walk. It's probably going to take me a while to get home. Now that Nokia, oh, it is everything I hope it to be. It's gorgeous. All right, let me get around these people here. I don't want to put them on camera. But I remember, I mean, it reminds me of the first day I had my Samsung Focus. And even though it was Windows Phone 7.0, it didn't have any updates, it was the first release, I was in love with this. I was like, this phone does everything I hoped it can do. Except for the fact it didn't have copy and paste back then. Copy and paste wasn't a feature. In fact, remember, on the iPhone, copy and paste wasn't a feature for a very long time as well. So you have to remember that where iPhone and Android's at right now, Windows Phone is catching up. It is doing a good job at catching up, to tell you the truth. And you have to admit that. You have to admit that from where Windows Phone was 2 years ago and where Windows Phone is now is better, way better than where iPhone was at in 2 years of its cycle. And iPhone came out in 2008. So iPhone is only 2 years old. Android is probably 3 years. I don't have the exact year memorized if it came out in 2008 or 2009, but Android is fairly young too. Now, you have to admit this too. Android 2.0, 2.1, 2.2, 2.3 sucks doggy butt. Okay? It does. I mean, it sucks worldly. All right, let me just pass this here. I mean, it really sucks ass. But when I started playing on the Galaxy X3, and there's a friend of mine working at the Galaxy Note, the 4 series, 4.1 and above, specifically 4.1, it's excellent. I mean, Google, they really worked hard to make a better experience on an Android system. Because I'm telling you, previous versions of Android was not a good experience for me. And I have an Android 2.3 now. It is not a great experience. It's laggy, it's slow, and it just blows. I'm sorry, it just plain sucks. It is nothing like the iPhone or Windows Phone. Nothing like it. Windows Phone beats it out the door. I mean, seriously. I mean, the iPhone and Windows Phone can beat the hell out of Android 2. Whatever. But the Android 4.1 and above, I have to admit, is a great improvement. And I do have to congratulate Google for making enormous improvements on Amtrak. And it's hauling ass too, boy. It's hauling some butt. That was probably like 55 miles an hour right there. Probably. Maybe 65. So yeah, Android 4.1, hands down, I have to say, is excellent. And if money was no object, I will definitely get a good 7-inch Android 4.1 or above tablet. Okay? Something I can mess with so I can at least say I have a Google device at home. Because I do use YouTube. I use Google Analytics. And I do have a few files on Google Drive. So why wouldn't I have a Google product in my line? I will never hook it up as my phone, but I will have a Google tablet, just, you know, something I can pick up real quick and play with, do what I got to do, and put it back down again. And then there's the iPad mini. Same thing. I would like to have an Apple product in my home. In fact, I'm also thinking about purchasing an Apple TV. Why not? Amazon's on it. Hulu just got on the Apple TV. That was announced about a month ago, I think. So Hulu's on Apple TV. Netflix is on Apple TV. Amazon is on Apple TV. Perfect, right? Why wouldn't I have an Apple TV? It would be perfect for what I need. Okay. See, all I'm trying to do is get to that street right there so I can cross it. And I still got a long ways to go before I hit it. So why wouldn't I get an Apple TV? I mean, I think it'll be nice. Apple TV would be perfect with, you know, Xbox sitting next to it. But then if you have an Apple TV and you got an Xbox, why would you have both? Because they both have the same things, right? Well, there are some things on iTunes that I may want. You know, sometimes iTunes has some good movies that maybe Xbox doesn't have. But and vice versa, maybe one is cheaper than the other. Xbox may sell a movie for $15. The iTunes will sell a movie for $17. I want to go with the cheapest one, Xbox. And it can be vice versa, okay? So it's good to have both. And they're both streaming technologies. In fact, I think, isn't iTunes streaming right now? They're streaming right now, right? Huh. I remember them talking about it, but you know what? Let me go to see if I can find a restroom here somewhere. I need to go to the restroom. I need to go to the restroom. Where? If I can find one. This is the south side domain. It's in two separate areas. They got a north side domain and they got a south side domain. And it's like two different complexes, but it's considered one. In the area where I walk through that field, it's going to be the east side domain. So, but I noticed that the south side domain has a movie theater. And there it is. Remember that iPic I was talking about? The iPic movie theater? There it is. Skyfall. Started today. Oh my God. Hold on, I gotta find out something real quick.